Well, alright guys, how are you all doing tonight? This is Luke back here with yet another album review, and I can't lie to you guys, I'm very excited to be reviewing this one here tonight. And tonight we're going to be reviewing Pantera, Cowboys From Fucking Hell, released on July 24th, 1990. And now some might even consider this to be the beginning of an era. I know I certainly do. And now many will say that Pantera's first album was somewhere in their glam metal phase, but I completely disagree with that statement, as I feel that this is the true first Pantera album. And once again, I'm very excited to be reviewing Pantera for you here tonight, Cowboys From Hell. I actually have the Great Southern Trendkill sitting right beside me right now. I'm going to be re-reviewing this album. Just an announcement, I'm going to be re-reviewing this album here because I feel like I didn't do as good of a review on it last time as I can do now. So I am going to be reviewing a shit ton of Pantera for you as well. This one, Cowboys From Hell, and the Great Southern Trendkill. So be looking out for that as well. And anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the biography and history of this band. Though I don't really think you need a biography and history of this band. I mean, come on, man. It's fucking Pantera. But anyways, in case you do, Pantera was an American heavy metal band from Argentina and Texas, formed in 1981, and the group's best-known lineup consisted of the Abbott brothers, drummer Vinnie Paul, and guitarist Dimebag Darrell, along with vocalist Phil Anselmo and bassist Rex Brown. And now, in addition to their development and popularization of the groove metal subgenre, which I don't have my own opinions about groove metal personally, but Pantera is credited along with others such as Testament, Sepultura, and Machine Head, also know how I feel about that fucking band, for being part of the second wave of thrash as one of the most successful and influential bands in heavy metal history, having sold around 40 million records worldwide and being nominated 4 times at the Grammys. Now, having started as a glam metal band, Pantera released 3 albums in the mid-1980s with lead guitarist Terry Glaze, Metal Magic, Projects in the Jungle, and I Am the Night. Now, looking for a new and heavier sound, Pantera hired Anselmo in late 1986 and released Power Metal in 1988. They secured a record deal with major label Atco the following year. The 5th album, 1990's Cowboys From Hell, popularized the groove metal genre, while its 1992 follow-up, Vulgar Display of Power, achieved an even heavier sound. Far Beyond Driven debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. Tensions began to surface among the band members when Anselmo became addicted to heroin in 1995, and he almost died from an overdose in 1996. These tensions resulted in the recording sessions for the Great Southern Trendkill being held separately, and the ongoing tensions lasted for another 7 years, during which only one studio album, Reinventing the Still, was recorded. Pantera went on a hiatus in 2001, but was disbanded by the Abbott brothers in 2003. Amid communication problems and their conclusion that Anselmo would not return to the band, the Abbott brothers went on to form Damage Plan, while Anselmo continued to work on several side projects, including Down and Superjoint Ritual, which Brown joined in as well. And on December 8, 2004, Dimebag Darrell was shot and killed on stage by a mentally unstable fan during a Damage Plan concert in Columbus, Ohio. And Vinnie Paul went on to form Hell Yeah after his brother's death, and sadly died of heart failure in 2018. Rest in peace to the Abbott brothers. And now that only left Brown and Anselmo as the only surviving members of the band's best-known lineup. Now, shortly after Power Metal was released, Megadeth needed a guitarist and phoned Dimebag Darrell, as he was then known, Diamond Darrell, as he was then known, to join the band. Darrell insisted for his brother bandmate Vinnie Paul to be included. However, Megadeth had already hired Mick Menza as their new drummer, so Darrell declined the offer, and Dave Mustaine instead decided on Marty Friedman. The Abbott brothers refocused their attention on Pantera, and in 1989 they were given their first shot at commercial success. That year was also when the band formed their relationship with Walter O'Brien at Concrete Management, the management arm of Concrete Marketing, who remained their manager until they disbanded in 2003. Now, after being turned down 28 times by every major label on the face of the earth, Atco Records representative Mark Moss and Stevenson Eugenio were asked by their boss, Derek Schulman, who was interested in signing Pantera, to see the band perform in Texas. Ross was so impressed by the band's performances that he called his boss that night, suggesting that the band should be signed to the label immediately. Atco Records accepted, and at the conclusion of 1989, the band recorded its major label debut at Pentago Studios and hired Terry Date to produce it, in large part because of his work on Overkill's then latest album, The Years of Decay, which inspired Pantera's new musical direction. And looking for their first big breakthrough, Pantera released their fifth studio album, Cowboys From Hell, which in my opinion, like I said, is their real first in my opinion. But it was produced by Pantera and Date. Pantera showed a more extreme style on this outing, leaving behind its glam metal influence and favor mid-tempo thrash and metal dubbed power groove metal by the band. Although Anselmo still used Rob Halford influential vocals, he also adopted a more abrasive delivery, and Daryl's more complex guitar solos and riffs, along with his brother's faster-paced drum work, were evidence of this band's extreme transformation. The album marked a critical juncture in the band's history. Many fans, as well as the band itself, consider it Pantera's official debut, as I do as well. Cowboys included the track Cemetery Gates, a brooding 7-minute piece that focuses on death and religion, and the thrashing title track, which gave the band members their nickname and asserted their rockoish personality and style. To promote its latest album, Pantera began the Cowboys From Hell tour alongside thrash acts Exodus and Suicidal Tendencies. In 1991, Rob Halford performed with the band on stage, which led Pantera, along with Annihilator, to open up for Judas Priest on its first show in Europe, and they also opened for other bands like Sepultura, Fates Warming, Prong, Mind Over 4, and Morbid Angel, and co-headlined the North American tour with Rothschild America. The band eventually landed a billing Monsters in Moscow with AC/DC and Metallica in September of 1991, where they played to a crowd of over 500,000 in attendance to celebrate the new freedom of performing Western music in the Soviet Union. Shortly before its downfall 3 months later, the band was often found at the Dallas club The Basement, where the band shot the video for Cowboys From Hell and Psycho Holiday. Pantera's 2006 home video compilation, 3 Vulgar Videos From Hell, features performances of Primal Concrete Sledge, Cowboys From Hell, Domination, and Psycho Holiday from the show in Moscow. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this review. Now, Cowboys From Hell is the Pantera album that everyone has come to know and love over the years. Whether they were a deep-digging metalhead or just someone who casually enjoys the genre, it's the album that established their identity and personality. The Abbott brothers, along with Rex and Phil, abandoned their glam aesthetic in favor of a style much more fierce and punishing. They combined the sounds of Judas Priest, Metallica, and a little bit of ZZ Top, I must add, to respectively show off the catchiness and melody of Priest, the rage, punch, and intensity of Metallica, and the groovy Texas rhythms of ZZ Top to create something that, while familiar as metal, sounded new and energetic. They took thrash and slowed it down somewhat to put more of an emphasis on the riffing and rhythmic muscle behind their work, while still yet to evolve into the slug-you-in-the-face variety of groove metal that they would be known for later. There were signs that there was more intensity and punch in the riffs despite being mid-tempo. Cowboys From Hell is an album that goes for the neck and continues delivering punches, showing they can be as fierce as they want, regardless of any speed. Cowboys From Hell is a strong album as far as riffing is concerned. Almost every tune on this fucker has an element of swinging, mosh-ready swagger about it that makes for great amounts of energy. The title track is the best example, in my opinion, of this, since it works hard to build you up and then launch you into a riff frenzy backed up by a strong rhythm and catchy hooks. This is also a consistent album, as you can also find this on other Punishing songs such as Domination, the swinging groovy Medicine Man, and head-on speeding charging of Clash with Reality. Now, Phil's more dynamic Halford-esque vocals do a lot to assist this, as the high energizing shrieks do their best to complement the riff, rich beatdown and heavy tension building being delivered by Dimebag. His shouts carry a more dynamic range of expression, and it can vary as being anywhere from angry and brutish on Primal Concrete Sledge to emotive and somber on songs like The Sleep. Tension building is also a strength of this album, as it gears you up for the swinging and energetic rhythms, especially on softer songs like The Sleep, which began haunting with an acoustic guitar intro that becomes slowly becoming faster and more dynamic when it switches to electric, going from simple stock grooves into the full-fledged epic melody and long killer solos. Cemetery Gates also excels at tensions building using the same techniques mentioned before, but this time exploding into an outburst of pure emotion carried by Phil Anselmo, soaring high notes and mellow singing, something he would abandon completely in his later career, but in my opinion he abandoned it for a good use. Thanks to continually using rougher growls on later albums, he abandoned it. But between the iconic rips belted out by Dimebag, the iconic lines belted out by Phil, and the muscular and vigorous and vicious rhythms supplemented by Vinny and Rex, along with a careful balance of crushing riffage versus catchiness and dynamics versus consistency, Cowboys From Hell is an example of what happens when a strong album is delivered by people channeling these elements with all their fucking might. And actually, guys, I'm going to give you a good example of this, and let's jam out here and check out Domination right here on the channel. And we are back. Man, don't you just love that fucking breakdown? Man, some of the best, man. Just some of the best. And goddamn, this is truly an amazing fucking band. Cowboys From Hell, with all its iconic songs and breakdowns, as well as attitude and energy, you would be doing yourself a favor, and you would be hurting yourself really bad by missing out on this album, but you'd be doing yourself a huge favor if you haven't actually already, which you should have. Okay, but if you haven't already, I'd recommend you check it out. It's one of the earliest examples of groove metal, and shows how the genre diverges from thrash more closely. It's also popularized the genre, gaining significant traction at the time and allowing for Pantera to have a promising career ahead of them, as well as cementing them as an influential act in modern metal styles. Cowboys From Hell brings us an assortment of banging tunes, fierce grooves, and overall a good time. And I gotta give this album a 10 out of 10. This is an amazing record, and I would recommend it to anyone. And if for some reason you have not checked out this classic yet, go fucking check it out. I mean, hell, what could possibly go wrong? It's literally Pantera, and it's literally an all-time thrash metal classic, or just heavy metal classic in general. Go check it out. It's an amazing album. And anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Pantera, Cowboys From Hell. And if you guys enjoyed this review, make sure to give it a like and subscribe with notifications on. Me and Chaos are hopefully going to be getting a podcast out for you all soon sometime here. I mean, we're working towards it, and though my mic quality is not the best, as you can probably hear, I still do enjoy doing these fucking videos. And if you have anything you would like me to review or cover, please leave it down in the comments below. I am taking requests. Just don't give me any metalcore garbage or I will shit on it. And don't get mad if you give me that garbage and I do not like it. Because I will review it, but I will not be too positive with those things. So just be mindful of that. I am uncensored and will not cater to anyone's opinions on this channel. If something's really good, I'm going to review it really good. And if something's garbage in my opinion or less than stellar, I'm going to give my honest opinion and call it less than stellar. So yeah, please leave some likes if you enjoyed. I'm back to hopefully reviewing stuff, so I have a lot I'm gonna be getting to and reviewing here. I got Acid Bath when the Kite String Pops. Actually, I'm going to be reviewing sometime down the road as well. I'm going to be reviewing that. I know you saw Chaos's review of it, but I'm also going to be doing a review on it. So keep that in mind as well. Anyways, guys, take care and have yourselves a fucking good one.